I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't be replaced.
It's not in the case of anybody.
That's why I spend my life with you.
Hi, hotties, kettles, tea stirs. You're here for hot tea. All commentary is alleged, and in my opinion, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yeah, y'all just pray for the best tomorrow, man. You know what I'm saying? Pray for the best. You know what I'm saying? I hate that fathers and mothers got to go through. Bro, imagine two people in love, right? At once upon a time. Two people in love. Y'all decide to lay down, I'm always joking with some shit, but y'all decide to lay down, have unprotected, whatever position you wanted to have. Y'all get exciting news that y'all finna bring a child into this world. You too. It don't take a police officer, don't take a courtroom, it don't take a lawyer to have a baby. It take a man and a woman, right? Y'all decide to have a baby. You have a baby shower. Y'all have a name. Y'all build a nursery. Y'all come up with a name for the baby. Y'all build the baby, emotions. Y'all build the baby's,
What up, ho? We in other people's business. And before we get into today's video, I'm just going to go ahead and let y'all know I'm about to probably say a lot of controversial shit. So if you want to argue in the comment section, just make sure you articulate yourself respectfully. Because if not, I'm going to wear you down. And let me just also go ahead and give these disclaimers because for whatever reason, whenever I get to expressing my opinions on situations like these, people automatically assume I'm single, a single mother. They assume I'm bitter, and they assume I ain't grow up without a daddy. And all those things are the furthest from the truth. I'm married, and I grew up with my daddy, and I ain't got no motherfucking kids, okay? So I'm just giving all my disclaimers before we get into it, because I don't want to see y'all in the chat trying to come for me over things that ain't true. Now, let's first start with Doug. Okay, because that's DDG's brother and he is ignorant. I'm tired of seeing his bald-headed, scallywag, turtle shell back, neck ass getting on the internet talking. And you can tell that he's talking for his brother, which is making it so complicated for DDG, Haley, and Halo. One, because he is very ignorant. There's no wisdom in that dome. But two, he's also going through a similar situation, if not a worse situation, with his baby mama. And he just broke up with his girlfriend, who he was triangulating against his baby mama at one point. Now, I'm going to try to play a clip of the girlfriend at the end of this video. And if it's muted, just know that means I had to mute it because she had music playing in the background. But she was basically saying that anytime something is going on with them, he puts it on social media, which he's childish, he's immature. That's the same thing that DD Dirty Dollar General is what we're going to call him. That's the same thing Dirty Dollar General does. Anytime there's any type of conflict or anything, he's always putting his business on social media. Little Mermaid, we're just going to start calling her Little Mermaid, is the bigger star. She's more successful. She's more mainstream. So that could potentially be dangerous. But we're going to talk about danger a little bit later because DDG and his brother and his whole little Dirty Dollar General entourage was literally just involved in an altercation while they were streaming. Dirty Dollar General and the Little Mermaid have court today, but this was reported over on TMZ, and it says that Dirty Dollar General files to stop the Little Mermaid from leaving country with their son. Because mind you, in her court order, they granted her a restraining order and basically said she was allowed to travel with him while she was filming for her new movie. So I don't know how he thinks this is going to work because she has to work. She makes more money than you. And in the court documents that was filed, because everybody like to look over the court documents, you are not financially upholding your bargain when it comes to Halo. So everybody always have these things to say, oh my gosh, he's a good father, this, that, and the third, but he's not holding his end of the deal. But this is where it's not going to get good for you, Haley, or the Little Mermaid, because he's also claiming that you are a risk to yourself and the infant. And this is the dirty, nasty games that these Negroes like to play. I'm going to get more into my commentary, the controversial commentary, after I read these documents. So it says Dirty Dollar General has filed an emergency motion to stop the Little Mermaid from taking their infant son out of the country, claiming she possesses an imminent emotional and physical and psychological risk to the child. It says the rapper filed the documents Wednesday morning asking for an emergency hearing because he says the Little Mermaid has made plans to fly their son Halo to Italy on Saturday. It says Dirty Dollar General says the court shouldn't allow this because the Little Mermaid isn't mentally healthy enough to take care of herself and their child. And he worries about what she might do to herself if she leaves the court's jurisdiction. Dirty Dollar General provides examples of alleged conduct he thinks is troubling, claiming the Little Mermaid once took a pow pow and left the house without telling him where she was going. Dirty Dollar General alleges he ultimately found her outside just holding the weapon. He says she was pregnant when the incident went down. He alleges that the Little Mermaid once tried to have an abortion behind his back, but says she ultimately changed her mind and decided not to go through with it. Girl, you probably should have went on and did what needed to be done. No, because we love Halo. But anyways, I'm sorry. On another occasion, 2 months after Halo was born, Dirty Dollar General claims the Little Mermaid sent a series of alarming text messages threatening to unalive herself and suggesting that their infant son, Halo, might be harmed. As you know, the Little Mermaid has accused Dirty Dollar General of abusive behavior in the past, including once when she alleged he slammed her face into the steering wheel and chipped her tooth. Dirty Dollar General tells a different version of the events, claiming he came to pick up Halo for his custodial time with his son, but the Little Mermaid jumped into the back seat when he did, demanding they come up with a formal co-parenting schedule, which is something that she similarly said. But of course, he gonna put 20 on 10. So Dirty Dollar General alleges she became increasingly agitated and started jumping from the back seat to hit him, and her momentum carried her forward and she smacked her head on the steering wheel. In fact, Dirty Dollar General says he was actually on the receiving end of abuse by the Little Mermaid, including photos of a large cut on his hand in the dots, which he says the Little Mermaid caused. Dirty Dollar General is asking the judge to block the Little Mermaid from taking Halo to Italy. He also wants sole legal and physical custody of their son. Or if he's not granted sole custody, then he wants custodial exchanges facilitated by a third party. Okay, let's get into it. Dirty Dollar General submitted a screenshot of a text message thread between him and the Little Mermaid. So this was in 3/21/2024. So this was back in January, February, March. She texts him. She says, "This is proof." She also texts him and says, "You leave me hanging as a mother." She says, your son step up. Well, I don't know. You son step up when I need you, or I guess you don't step up when I need you. She said, "I'm begging you. I just found out you slept with Lala in Mexico. I'm going to kill myself tonight." She says, "My son will not be around for it." So I don't know how he's trying to say that. Anyways, we're going to get to it. She said, "I hate you forever." She also says, "You can have him and let her be his mom now, girl." Okay, so he responds and he says, "I can't believe you're acting like this, and this sounds very familiar. This is what men do. They push you over the edge, they disrespect you, they violate you, they embarrass you, and then when you lash out, then they try to make it out to be like you're crazy. Oh my gosh, something is wrong with you, etc." Mind you, this is just relationship issues. This isn't DV, but I guess this is valid evidence for him to submit to say that he is fearful that she might put her life in danger, not necessarily the child life. I don't know why he's taking it that far, because I'm just gonna be objective. You know what I'm saying? You know, like I never want to off myself over no Negro, and that's just the bottom line. Haley, Little Mermaid, you doing too much. Okay, I'm on your side. I really am. But I also know that, well, we have to also consider that she had just had Halo. So she found out that he cheated on her when she just had Halo, when she was in when he was in Mexico with a girl named Lala. That's trifling. And again, I'm not necessarily saying the Little Mermaid is innocent. I've always said I don't feel like she's innocent, but I feel like she's valid in putting a restraining order out on him and him putting his hands on her. That was wrong. You shouldn't do that. But going back to these text messages, I can't judge her, because if I find out my husband was messing with somebody else in Mexico, first of all, okay, my text messages might look a little different. It ain't gonna have nothing to do with hurting myself. I'm gonna guarantee you that. So Haley, that's the only thing I'm judging you for. I'm trying to understand why you up in a text message talking about you gonna off yourself and leave another bitch to raise your baby. I don't agree with that. You're gonna have to have a little bit more esteem than that. But we had to know it was something going on in the self-esteem department, considering you done ended up with DD Dirty Dollar General. Okay, now let me pipe down on my good sis, the Little Mermaid, because don't ever get it twisted. I love the Little Mermaid, and we done all made mistakes, Little Mermaid. So I see you, okay? I see you, girl. But going back to DDG and this whole situation, so Dirty Dollar General to me is very manipulative. For him to ask for sole legal custody of Halo when, one, you don't put any financial anything up for the baby, and that was proven, right? Two, every time we see you with that boy, it's on stream. Your brother said out of his own mouth that anytime y'all get y'all kids, the kids be with y'all mama. So why is it that you're trying to battle her in this way rather than be accountable? But this is the issue, right? I've always felt like this, and I always express this. When it comes to Black women going up against a Black man, for whatever reason, it's always a hard battle, and you always going to lose in the public eye. I don't know why, but we've seen it across the board. It doesn't matter what that man does to you. For whatever reason, they get a mass amount of support for violating you and humiliating you, and you standing up for yourself. Because we see it right now with Dirty Dollar General. He got a whole bunch of dumb, young ass, thirsty ass fans that are just going to support him because who he is, rather than just holding him accountable. I can like you and say you shouldn't do that, or that's wrong, because ultimately that's what's going to make them the better person. Why can't they say in the comment section, look, DDG, we like you, this, that, and the third, but you still shouldn't put your hands on her. And my thing is, when it comes to these type of men and their families, why not teach your son, if a woman put her hands on you, you call the police, up the score. Don't You have enough self-respect to put yourself in a better situation. But again, it's going to be more enabling. If I had a son and my son put his hands on his girlfriend, one, I'm gonna clock him upside his head, whether they were arguing or not. And two, as a man, y'all supposed to be and want to be the leaders of the world. Check yourself. It's your obligation to be able to control your emotion in the line of fire and make a good call. And that's what we should be teaching these men. Not, oh, well, she did this. At the end of the day, if it's oh, women always doing this, women always doing that, why are y'all not teaching y'all sons to protect themselves better and have better discernment? Because that's what it's looking like to me. If this is true, like, oh, she was fighting with him, going back and forth with him, this, that, and the third, and she ended up doing that, why wouldn't you call the police, DDG, and go ahead and get and make sure you are on the better end? But instead, it's a whole lot of enabling, in my opinion, personally. Also, I feel like he's not the best fit, in my opinion, because like I said, his brothers already said they mama do majority of the work. But I mean, hey, he definitely look, be a little weekend daddy. You know what I'm saying? Be a weekend daddy. But I don't know, y'all. Y'all get in the comment section and let me know what y'all think, because I am rocking with the Little Mermaid all the way, because I don't think she's a violent person. I think that people do stuff to people and they're human. I feel like this was her lashing out when they were in a relationship, but we're talking about when y'all separated, she moved on, and y'all were co-parenting, because that seemed to be where the problem started. So now here he is trying to bring up all of these old text messages, this, that, and the third. But why won't you speak about your part in all of this? Because that's the thing that I feel like they always miss out on, right? So he's trying to say, like, oh, she threatened to get an abortion. Okay, why did she threaten to get an abortion? What was your role prior to? Because a woman that's in a happy relationship that found out she was pregnant, that's in a loving, happy relationship, isn't just gonna want a fucking abortion. Like, let's stop skating past the obvious. And sorry to all of the newcomers that say, oh my gosh, I like your commentary, but I hate that you cuss so much. Girl, I'm sorry, child. I'm sorry that I put so much seasoning in my sentences. But going back, postpartum depression is real. So when you say that she took the pow pow and then she walked and she went for a walk and then you found her and she was just holding it, what did she find out? What was y'all going through? Did she have a baby and all of these things? Because it sounded like what was happening was she found out that she carried and almost unalived herself to have your baby. Because at the end of the day, when a woman lays down and pushes out your child, she's literally next to death. Okay. It seems to me she found out that she sacrificed so much to have your child, and you betrayed her by sleeping with and cheating on another woman. That's just what it looks like to me. She lashed out, she moved on, and the problem started when you couldn't agree to the co-parenting, because she wanted you to not stream with the boy. You didn't care. She wanted you to not post with the boy so often. You didn't care. She didn't want certain people around the boy all the time. You didn't care. You literally had him on a Casa Not stream. But I don't know, y'all, get in the comment section. People might think I'm too biased on this situation, but I can literally see what the problem is. And unfortunately, when women get in this space, specifically Black women, I can't speak for no other cultures or races or anything like that, but when Black women get in this space, when it comes with Black men, it's just always a losing battle. It's always a losing battle. And I feel so bad for the Little Mermaid, but she's going to make it on top. So y'all get in the comment section and let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the post notification bell so you guys are up to date each and every time that I upload.
Every time that man has the opportunity of like putting it out there to the world, or like letting the world know, he does that. And like you guys, you know, like never have I came on live and was like, oh, I'm single. Yeah, like maybe I'll take some videos down, you know, take some pictures down. Yeah, Wayne in the back. I'm dead.
A million here, a million there. Sicilian bitch with long hair.
Hello, y'all.
Open the Lamborghini, hoping them crack the semen. Like, look at that bastard Weezy.
So,
Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it. I pull up, roll the window down it. Yeah, I pull up, roll the window down it.
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel like chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, you can't replace.
In the case of anybody.
That's why I spend my life